Hello there, kia ora. I'm just wondering if somebody could define for me what exactly a gang is, because in the lead up to the election, Mark Mitchell, who's now the police minister, told us he was going to be really, really tough on gangs, that they're going to bring in all these really specific laws to stop gangs from doing what they were doing, and that they have to be so afraid that they have to go out in public wearing makeup. But trying to get a definition of what a gang actually is, well, that seems to be a bit of a strange one. Mark Mitchell's own definition of a gang includes being a criminal group that's responsible for violence and peddling meth, which is a really weirdly specific element of gangs that he seems to have added in there. But it's really important that we know this for a couple of reasons. And unfortunately, they're all kind of centered on Gisborne at the moment. Now, you probably heard about the massive brawl that broke out where two people lost their lives. And while the police said it wasn't a gang retaliation thing, gangs were definitely involved with that particular incident. And then on top of that, we saw the Destiny Church go out and paint over a rainbow crossing on one of the streets there while complaining about drag queens reading books to kids and how they hated what they were doing, and filmed the whole thing and admitted exactly what it was that was going on. But the two behaviors, well, they could be considered gang-like behaviors from gang-like groups depending on the definition. And here's the really weird thing. Our laws don't really have much of a definition as to what gangs are. In the States, they do. They have a federal listing of what you would classify as gang behavior, and it includes things like association of three or more individuals, members who identify with each other through a common name or a slogan or a symbol, a tattoo or a physical marking, even things like color of hair or styling of clothes or hand signals and graffiti could be considered gang activity. There'd be rules for joining and operating within the association, members that might meet on a recurring basis, the association offering physical protection for its specific members, and seeking to exercise control over particular groups, locations, or regions, which sounds very much like the sort of activity that we get from Brian Tamaki and his Destiny Church group. But in this country, in Aotearoa, gangs don't tend to be defined by law because they're seen more as an organized crime issue, as opposed to a specific gang issue. We only have one law which has ever actually tried to define what a gang is in the sense that both Mark Mitchell was promoting before the election, one that he seems to wear no matter who it is that he's talking to. If they're Māori, he just sort of assumes that they're in a gang, like he did at this particular petition signing being handed over to him, or the sort of thing that the press likes to say are gangs. But our legal definition in this country only has 2 points, and it's a common name or common identifying sign, symbols, or representations, and its members, associates, or supporters individually or collectively promote, encourage, and engage in criminal activity. And if we use that definition on Destiny Church and what they did over the weekend, well, you can see from this footage here they're quite clearly wearing very similar clothes with similar identifying markers. You can see that they are actively going out of their way to break the law, therefore undertaking criminal activity, because yes, painting over a pedestrian crossing is considered a criminal activity. And then you even have their leader going out of his way to make this comment where he's in support of what they're doing, so therefore he's encouraging them to engage in criminal activity. So by all legal definitions that we have in this country, which are very limited, it does seem like Destiny Church should be classified as a gang under New Zealand gang laws that this current government is proposing to put forward.